Hey, welcome back to One Wrench Rodeo. I am John. This here is a 7-tree IDI, non-turboed. I bought it a while back, and I kind of just now curious if it will run. It's an F Super Duty, so it's like an F450, 17,000 GVW heavy. If it does run, we're going to beat on this thing. Supposedly it needs an injection pump, but I actually have a 7.3 IDI engine sitting right over there with that was rebuilt, so it will run. But I'm not going to put it in here. If anything, I'll put a Cummins in this thing. And the old Farmall 560 is here to liberate it from its pasture home. And that engine's sitting right over there with a good injection pump on it. So if we have to, I will switch an injection pump. But let's take a closer look at this thing. So here you see your Navistar 7.3 IDI. What is this thing? I don't know what that thing is. It's like maybe high idle or like throttle lock. We're just gonna act like that don't matter. I don't even remember how to check the oil on one of these things. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're just gonna act like we didn't see that either. We'll pop the clutch and give the tranny a spin. Oh, look at that. We got the big hole open for all the ether. That's right. And she's Hydro Boost. That's pretty cool. It doesn't have a vacuum system, so that makes it nice. Well, let's get hooked up to it, and then we're gonna go ahead and give her a couple yanks with the tractor, see if she'll spin over. We got tunage. See if it can play an old Hank tune. All the ether. Alright, crank it.
Ignition. Nothing. Wait a second. Killing all the lights when I do that. I did clutch it.
I felt that. Well, let me grab a screwgee. Oh yeah. Horn blows, how about the driver? Alright, that didn't work. Oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll get a hammer. I'll get a hammer. Smack that starter around like it owes me money. Whoa! Did you see them fucking start?
I saw fire.
We got the fire. Oh, the starter turned cherry red. Like the leads on it down there, so must be a bad ground drawing all that amperage, making heat.
It ain't going to be hard enough for
No.
one of these to start.
Before the day's out, I'm going to unbolt that bumper, take it in the garage and buff it and try to get it to chrome up again so I can put it on the old Fummins truck. The old Fummins flatbed. It needs a front bumper on it. I think that one would look mighty fine on here. Oh, look, a battery charger. Come on, look at that. 6 in the row, make her go. Buy a Dodge, or formerly known as a shipping container for a good engine. throw away the Dodge, put the good engine in a real truck. This one's 2-wheel drive right now, but it's going to be converted to a 4-wheel drive. So that will be on a future build. Right now, we just got it running and driving. It's good enough. Alright, so after digging for, I don't know, probably an hour and calling Napa wanted 160 bucks. Not happening. I found my starter. It was actually not the starter I was looking for. It was in my old 70s Ford, as I put an IDI in 5-10 years ago. So I bench tested it, definitely works. So I'm going to move you in here, and we're going to stick this in, and this thing cranks way faster. So we'll see if I can get her stuffed up in there and spin this thing over, and if any fuel's coming out the injectors, out to the injectors. If they are, maybe it will start. If not, I'll have to switch the injection pump out. Alright, so we got the starter replaced. I made up new battery cables so I could use the batteries out of my excavator in this, which are group 31, so we got all the amperage. I have this just by hand. I should spray diesel out when I roll that engine. Alright, after several scientific tests, I'm deeming this pump junk. She's not pushing near the fuel she should be. So we're going to pull this injection pump off, and I got another engine that has a good pump. We're going to slap it on. Hopefully this thing will start. Might have to drag it around with the tractor to get it run, but I think she'll run again.
Just too tight. Grip on that. It's off. Gee, man, this thing really tight these things up. That's a good one. Injection line's a leak. Down the gorilla.
Dang gorillas don't make good mechanics. I need an angle wrench to take that pump loose. I still need to get, I think that's like a 9/32 or some crazy size down there on the front of the injection pump. Right down in there, there's 3 bolts and a dowel pin. Them 3 bolts got to come out, and the timing gear will sit in there just right on top of the cam gear. And we'll pull that pump out there. And this one's never been turned up before. There's a line right there and right there that's for timing. It's still set at the factory mark, so we're gonna have to put the pump on and then turn the timing up on her. A little bit more cling out of her. So I'll go get an angle wrench. I gotta get that fuel line off of there. Get that bolt down in there. Take this bracket off so I can get to that bolt. We'll be on our way. Alright, so we got our new used injection pump. This was a hot pump I ordered off the internet. Let's slide it down in here. Maybe. wiggle. Alright. Something don't feel right. Something don't feel right down there. We got a loose injection line or something. We do. I'm amazed I felt that. I'm filming this to give you an update and a snippet of the F450 that I drug out of my field. The inspection sticker says it was from 2012, so it's been 10 years it's been sitting. I tried to fire it up and cranked, put a starter in it because it wouldn't crank, and still no smoke. So I had another engine that I have out. I pulled the injection pump off of this. These injection pumps here are just for demonstration. So I replaced the stand on. This one's locked up. Probably water in it. Replaced the injection pump on that truck with a pump that I thought was good. Still wouldn't run. I pulled the top cover off, these 3 bolts here, and pulled that off. That's your shutdown solenoid. So, see if it was working. It, of course, was working. The fuel rack, though, was stuck. And right inside of here is the fuel rack that solenoid pushes on to shut the fuel off and stop the engine from running. And I wiggled it slightly, moved it around, and it moved free. I was like, okay, we're out of the woods now. She'll run. Now at least it was starting to spit fuel out of the injectors. Still won't fire. So give it a shot of ether and she'll flutter over like she's going to run, but it just simply won't run. The only thing I can figure out is I believe that the injectors, which I'll be right back. This is a pennant injector out of a 7.3 IDI Navistar diesel. That's your spill port for your overflow. That's where the fuel was actually injected at. The only thing I can figure is these are stuck from sitting, and they're just simply not injecting the fuel into the pre-combustion chamber. And that's why I'm not even getting any diesel smoke. So I pulled the pump back off the engine, and then I've had a lot of these 7.3, so I have a box of 7.3 nozzles. These really aren't considered injectors because they're not really an injector, they're a nozzle, spray nozzle. And I'm going to mail those to the injection pump shop that I use, and they've done injectors and injection pumps for me in the past. I'm going to have them clean the pump, go through it, calibrate it. I'm going to see if they can turn it up. I'm pretty sure it's already a hot pump that was pushing a little bit extra. I ordered it off the internet. But we're going to see if maybe they can push a little bit more cc's of fuel. I doubt they'll be able to do anything with the injectors because they're just an OEM shop that does good quality work. They're not out trying to build performance. So once we get the 450 running, I would like to put the turbo setup on it and make it a turboed IDI and push a bunch of fuel to it and do burnouts with it, because that would be really cool in an F450. And I looked under the rear end, it's got 513 gears. It's a 5-speed with an IDI, so she should be able to smoke the tires off with no problem. I know years ago I had a 77 highboy like this one here, but I had dropped a 7.3 IDI in it with a 5-speed on 410s and 35 gears. You could just roll into the throttle and ease onto the brakes and smoke the rear tires off in 3rd gear. So I'd like for that truck to be able to even just run and then we can progress into that, and we'll see how it goes. I have a 12 valve that I bought to put in that truck, but if the IDI is good, we'll just leave it be. So that's the update on that. Hopefully, when I get these parts back and go through all the work, we can actually make some smoke. Come on. So, thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, hit that little bell. So until next time, I'll see you all on the One Wrench Rodeo.